So today I want us to talk about the mindset shifts that separate people who get things done and continuously keep winning and those who don't. And I want you to win in 2025. So take a listen, and here is how. Hey you, hey gal, we made it into 2025. Can we first just pause and just be grateful for the fact that we have a new year? You are still here despite everything that happened in 2024, the good, the bad, the ugly. And you know what, baby? We are back because here at the Woman Experience, we keep trudging on even when life throws curveballs. I was on a break, a well-deserved one, and I hope that you are as rested as I am. I am feeling actually energized, and I'm so glad to be back on this space, speaking to you, encouraging each other, learning from each other, and I couldn't be more thrilled. And really just thanking God for this new year, to be able to do amazing things, to be able to dream, to set our visions, to think about our goals, which actually leads me into our first episode of the year. Because if there's a gift I will give myself, and if there's a gift I could give you, is the gift of mindset. We've had mindset, a lot of people are talking about it, but today I want to give you just practical tips. I want to give you the exact mindset shifts that separate people who get things done and those who don't. And I want you to win in 2025 because, baby, there's no other way. We are winning by fire, by force, as we say here in Kenya. Because I know what it's like to feel stuck. So year after year, I would make promises to myself that I never kept. You know, we've all been there. So you take your shiny new notebook, you write down your goals. Oh, I'm going to make this X amount of money in a year. I'm going to do the da-da-da-da-da. So what, you have all these nice, shiny goals. But at the end of the year, you sit down and I would wonder, why am I not even achieving at least one or two of these goals? And so I really had to look inward at all the excuses I was giving myself, all the self-doubt, all of the fears. But once I shifted my mindset, and we are going to talk about some of the strategies that I used, also strategies that I see others using, because I'm also on this learning journey, then a few things started to shift. And by the way, if you haven't watched the other video that I did in December about why I felt like last year I moved more than the other 5 years combined, please watch that video because those are sort of like other tactical things I did. But today I want to talk about mindset, because if I could give you a gift, if I could just talk to you and shout from the rooftops, is you just need to tame your mind. Here's why. We are in one of the luckiest generations on earth currently. We have so much information at our fingertips. Like literally, right now, you could Google anything you want to learn, anything you want to find about. But on the other hand, we are the most disconnected people in terms of the vision, the kind of life that you want to lead versus the life we actually lead. And I think the main thing is just mindset, the way you think about yourself, the way you truly believe in what's possible for you. So let's dive in. And this is, like I said, from things I continue to experience, things I'm tweaking. So let's learn together. So the thing is, we are trying to tame our minds in 2025. Easier said than done. Caveat, this is a battle that you're gonna have to fight every single day. You know, like how you start working out and you enroll in a gym, but every single morning or when it's your time to go work out, your mind is just like telling you like, oh my God, I'm not going to that gym, I'm so tired. But then once you go in, after your workout, it's like, oh my God, why the hell would I have skipped that workout? Imagine if I would have skipped it. Thank God I didn't skip this workout. So it's the same thing. We are doing a number on the brain. We want to make sure that we are in a frame where we are priming it to be one that pushes us forward towards our goals. So number one, we want to create a new person. So follow along with me. So we are going to create a whole new person. So for example, when I was getting into like YouTube creation and content creation and doing this channel, what a lot of us do is we focus on the skill set that's needed for a content creator. So I would look like I need video editing skills, I need, photography skills, I need to learn how to do scripting and all of that. And while all of this is true, I want you to start thinking about the thing that you want to do. What is the personality, not the skill set, the personality of those people who are crushing it? So for me, when I think, for example, of content creators, I think of them as confident people. They are people who are brave in front of the camera. They are people who show up and just sit in front of the camera and speak. There are people who are not afraid to make mistakes in front of the camera. They are interesting people, and so they try to read a lot. So think of the personality, not so much the skill set, but the personality, the DNA of what makes the skill that you want to get to. And so what you want to do is to try to adopt that personality. You can always learn the skill sets. You can always learn editing. You can always learn photography, but you just want to start being the person who does these things. So one of the things I did is, even when I do not have all of my lines put together or my ducks in a row, I sit in front of a camera and play record, because in my mind, that's the personality of people who do content creation. They are brave, they have no fear. They know how to engage people in interesting conversations. So even if I'm an introvert, a lot of people think I'm extroverted, by the way, but I would freeze up, especially when I'm, trying to network or talk to interesting people. But what's the personality of content creators? They know how to mingle with people in different conversations. And so I started to do that even when I don't feel like it. So what you're trying to do is to change your mindset shift. And then once you start becoming that person, then it becomes easier to get into that role. So what you're doing actually is role playing, doing or being that personality even when you don't feel like it. For some of you, it could be in business. What do business people do? For example, I think they are confident when talking about money. They are not afraid to take a risk. They are not afraid to go to other people and ask about their businesses. They are people who are very confident in selling. Whatever that skill is, add it to the personality of people who do business. So if their personality is people who are confident talking about money, start confidently talking about money. Start confidently, even when you don't feel like it. Try to sell a product or service, even if it's not yours. So whatever the thing is, go a layer deeper and think about the personality of the people who do that thing. We can always learn the skill later, but we want to adopt that personality. And why this is so critical, once you start becoming that person, the mind starts shifting, and then now you start adopting the skills, and voila. So it promised me something. You are going to take a piece of paper, write down what you think of the personalities of the people who do the thing that you want to do. I hope that makes sense. That really helped me because in this journey of content creation, one of the things I used to be so mortified about is making mistakes, is maybe feeling like I sound silly on the camera. But I was like, the content creators I see they're not afraid of mistakes. So I must try to be that person. And by showing up here every single week, this is what I'm trying to do. And I'm slowly becoming that person who creates content. It's as simple as that. But it will require you to do something despite how you feel, to be that person. So first try that personality thing, then do the skills, and you're halfway on taming your mindset. So that's number one. We are creating a whole new person. So number two, I want you to know that proximity is power. So the thing is, we've had all of this so many times. The people and spaces you spend your time in, you become it. One of the things that has really been so key in transforming the way I think and my mindset is because of the spaces and what I tap into. Why am I saying proximity is power? We talked about the personalities of the people who are in that, whatever it is that you want to do. You want to make sure that you are in constant proximity to them. For me, by the way, without complicating it so much, one of the things I did is my online algorithm changed completely. Whether it's my TikTok, my YouTube, or even my Twitter feed, because your algorithm will show you the things that you're most passionate about. So I'm always listening to something uplifting, whether it's people who are trying to build businesses, people who are in content creation and what their strategies are doing. Because here's the thing that I have noticed, which is very, very wild to me. I used to think that I needed to work more harder, work faster, be the fastest at whatever it is, be the quickest. But what I have actually realized that what you need is a new environment, not necessarily more effort. This is key. A lot of us are putting in the work, but in spaces that are not affirming it or catapulting whatever it is. So most of the time, it's not really more effort, it's new environments. So you want to be in digital spaces. This is a huge one. I started with that one because more than ever, we are the generation that in a day we can consume hundreds and thousands of information streams. Just make sure you don't have to be perfect. I'm still struggling. Every once in a while, I'll find myself consuming content I should not be. But you want most of it to be geared to where you're going. What do you listen to in the morning when you wake up? When you're driving to work, when you're in a matatu or wherever you are? Trust me, this was a huge game changer for me. If I'm not learning something, then I'd rather just be silent in my car, because I've realized I'm very good at consuming things that I hear, and so I'm very careful. Again, proximity is power. So who are you spending time with? So try as much as possible, the people I talked about, where you want to be, spend more time with them. And this is a very subtle mindset shift that feels like nothing is changing until one day, 5 months on, 6 months on, 7 months on, by the time the year ends, you realize that you are thinking completely different from the way that you used to. Proximity is so powerful, and I have seen it work, and you've had it being said again and again. You want to be the person in the room that feels like the most they have to learn. Nothing bad about being with your peers. It's okay. It's just that for where you want to go, make sure you're also in rooms with people who are challenging you, telling you to think about something differently. So proximity is power. Please tap into spaces, especially digital spaces and spaces that are affirming you. So I want you to make sure you are tapping in the right digital spaces. You're constantly surrounding yourself with people that are speaking about the thing that you want to do. You don't have to start yet. But this is my other point. But for now, commit in the next couple of months, you're going to be in spaces, just different spaces that push you toward your goal. Remember, we are slowly taming the mind. Number 3, if you have watched this channel, this is the thing I will sing from my rooftop. You just have to start. This is what I'm coming to realize about taming the mindset. There's that little voice sometimes inside of me that tells me, I'm not going to be in YouTube forever, I will not stay the long haul, or so many channels have failed. What I'm coming to realize is that action brings clarity over time. So the more you start doing something, your mind starts becoming clearer as to where you want to go. And here is the big one on the gym example, where please do not wait for motivation to do what it is that you want to do. Do not also rely on your brain, because when your brain senses fear or you don't know this thing that you want to start, that's why we are taming it. When you stop, because now you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna succeed as a content creator. I don't know if I'm cut out for business. I don't know if, I don't know what people are going to say. Whatever it is, what I have realized in this very young journey that I'm still on is that with every time that Aizo is the guy behind the scenes, every time we come here, we are closer to becoming clear. So what we were doing last year probably might change this year, might change next year. But we are learning so much about how the algorithm works, how we want to do the kind of content. But the thing is, my dear, you have to tame that mind. We always joke that with every approaching like shooting day, we are like, should we, cancel this? But we show up. So I'm going to preach from the rooftops that you have to just tame your mind by taking action. There is no other way. And then over time, what your mind does, it now resonates with Jen, who is now the business owner, Jen, who is now a caterer, Mary, who is now has a side hustle. So the thing that you want to do, start. So remember the 3 things. Number 1, we are creating a whole new person by embodying the personality of the thing that you want to be. So from now on, whether you feel like it or not, you will try to get those traits. Skilling can come later. We first focus on the traits that you need to be and start acting like that, even when you don't feel like it. Number 2, proximity is power. The spaces you tap into, whether digital, whether in person, start to think about spaces that you spend your time in so that you start taming your mind. Number 3, I want you to start because action breeds clarity over time and it also shifts the mind. I hope this was helpful. And by the way, if you haven't, especially on a people priority list, I did an episode on how do you think about who you spend your time with and how you spend it. We'll link it somewhere here. But thank you so much. We are back in 2025 and I can't wait to see you. Until next time, bye.